It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to hour number 2 of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you're just kicking on the radio there, be sure to stay dry. As you know, we got a tropical storm moving through the area, but it looks like it's going north of us, so it'll just be a big rainmaker for us today. And as I noted in the 7 o'clock hour, please, people, do not drive through the puddles and get your cars destroyed as a result thereof. It just takes a little bit of water up in the engine block to crack the block and destroy your entire car. So I see people doing it every single time we have flooding down in the area. So again, please be safe out there. Carry an umbrella with you. Hopefully the event will be over by early evening or so. Good show planned for you today. We'll be talking on the second half of today's program with Ben Rampt, owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese, a food truck restaurant service. And so we'll be talking for 30 minutes about grilled cheese. I hope I can do that, but he seems to be a pretty entertaining character over there. So Ben, make sure you have some good talking points for me. I don't know if I can carry an interview for 20 minutes about grilled cheese. It is good stuff, but 20 minutes about grilled cheese. But we have a discussion, though, about his business like we always do with everybody else. So be a good discussion on the second half of today's show. But up first, I have Dr. Larry Brow, Lieutenant Colonel with the United States Army and retired, but Director today of the Office of Veteran Success over at the University of South Florida. So Dr. Larry Brow, welcome to the program today.
Well, thank you, Jamie. It's just great to be here.
So first off, tell me about your service in the United States military, 27 years, retired. First off, thank you for your service. I'm always very indebted to our servicemen and women for, defending the country, and I don't take our freedom, lightly. And something I considered doing, out of high school, talked to the military recruiter, took the ASVAB, got close to signing the papers, but as I always say, I get nervous about commitment, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. So I commend you for being able to make that commitment. But tell me about your role in the services.
Well, I enlisted right out of high school. I didn't have a fear of commitment, but my father basically told me what I was going to do after I got out of high school, and he was in the military and kind of directed me that way, which I'm glad he did. It was the greatest experience of my life, and never expected to spend 27 years in, but spent 27 years in, retired in 2008, and then went through the grueling transition process, which is what brings me to the job that I'm in today. Is
the transition from the military back into the corporate world. And it must have been especially difficult for you because you never experienced corporate or general job life. You went right into the military out of high school. So the program that you are responsible for today at USF works with veterans to make that transition, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So tell me about your experience when you retired in 2008.
Well, when I retired, I knew that I was going to retire. I had planned it. I had been working on my doctorate for a number of years, and so I knew what I was going to do. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be once I got out. I thought that, here I was, a lieutenant colonel with a lot of experience, with a doctorate, that people would be lining up to hire me, and that just wasn't the case. I can actually remember sitting in my basement, in Iowa, and doing resumes, filling out application after application, wondering if anybody was ever going to hire me. And I realized that, if I'm having this much difficulty, with employment after the military, how much harder is it for somebody who does not have a doctorate, that doesn't have the education, that hasn't been in as long? And
what's your doctorate in?
Education.
And so you came out of the military and you're just applying for job after job. What were you being told? Was this was in 2008? So we're obviously, it was a tough time in general because of the housing crisis and the financial meltdown. So that added some additional stresses that the typical market wasn't seeing. But what were they telling you? Did you feel like you were getting some discrimination because you came out of the military?
Well, that was my concern. I did have that concern. I do think that a lot of it was I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't have a network. I didn't know anybody. And I realize now, after doing this for 7 years, almost 7 years, that the key to a successful transition is a network. Is having all my network was in the military. They couldn't help me. So helping veterans now, when they get out, to network and to meet people that can help them, that's the whole key to that successful transition. Having a great resume helps, but it's certainly not the ultimate key.
Okay,
It's hard to imagine, isn't it, that we treat our servicemen this way when they get out of the military. The first thing we should do is to, extend a hand and help them out. Why is it so tough?
I don't know. Can you answer that?
Well,
what were some of the problems that people were telling you? Like, are they worried about PTSD or some Rambo syndrome or something?
Rambo syndrome.
I mean, like, what's the big deal? You guys are out there protecting each other's butts and taking care of some pretty demanding things. You'd think that would make for a good employee. I really don't understand what the problem is.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. I do think that PTS and other issues, concerns that maybe they're a liability, even though they did great things and we appreciate it. Maybe there is a liability there, but I also think there's a misunderstanding and not a lack of understanding of what value there is in a veteran and the type of experience that they bring to the workforce, their dedication, their discipline. They're highly skilled. I mean, we've had an all-volunteer force since 1973, and these are the most highly trained, highly skilled military that we've ever had. And now a lot of them are transitioning out. I think 2.8 million since 2001 have transitioned out of the military, and we're expecting another million to transition out over the next 5 years. Well, this highly trained, highly skilled folks, they're getting out and they're entering the workforce, but I don't think that business and really understands the value and how much that they can bring to that workforce.
Unfortunate.
And I was going to say that every time I come across somebody right out of the military who doesn't have any corporate experience, they're very professional. It's always yes, sir, no, sir. And they're very just regimented. They're very on time. And I would think these would be assets to an employer because you don't see that from the typical person that comes through.
Not from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but the yes, sir, no, sir, just the way they give their answers is very structured. I would think it would be an asset to an employer. But you're saying a lot of times that, it's seen as a liability then.
Yeah, and I think that there's a little bit of intimidation there, but I also think that since with people getting out of the military and entering the workforce, I think there is there's a gap in that transition. I mean, I think a lot of people assume that the military is taking care of them before they get out, preparing them to enter the workforce, which is really not the case. The Department of Defense is not really prepared to that's not their mission to get somebody ready for the workforce. They give them a 2-week class. They hand them hopefully get a nice resume out of it, give them their GI Bill benefits and say, hey, thank you very much for your service and head down the road. And then the VA is not, that's not their mission either. So there's this big gap from the time that they get out of service to the time they try to find, enter employment. And there's nobody in that gap. And that's where, I really look for higher education, University of South Florida, to kind of lead the way and work with the community. I think the community, the business community, the local community is the key to filling that gap for that transition. When we realize that, I think we owe our service members more than a cup of coffee at Starbucks and a thank you, when they return at the airport. And giving them an opportunity, at least meeting with them and seeing what they can do, and then providing them with a job.
All right, so let's talk about the Office of Veteran Success, of which you're a professor at over at USF. How does this work? Does anybody returning from the military have a right to enroll? Is there a fee associated with this? How does the program work first?
Well, it's anybody who's trying to go to school at the University of South Florida. If they're a veteran, we automatically connect with them. They're automatically connected to our office through the post 9/11 GI Bill, and then we have a myriad of services that we can provide for them. Ideally, the first one is to get them to graduate, to help them academically, provide them with the academic support, the tutoring, whatever it is that they need to graduate successfully, stay in school and graduate. Whether it is mental health or whether there's some other financial issues, we try to resolve those issues to get them to graduation.
So they come to the Office of Veteran Success without being a student at USF? Can they come there for a consultation to kind of feel this out? How does this work?
Well, if they're thinking about going back to school, they can. That's currently the routine. If they're we primarily handle students at USF, student veterans. We have over 2,000 now student veterans at USF that we take care of. The vision at USF is to create a transition center that includes all veterans, that we can take care of the local community and work with the business community and create a transition center that bridges that gap between their ETS or their exit from the military and get them into a meaningful career.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Now, how does your role work at the Office of Veteran Success? Do you teach classes on this? Do you teach other programs within USF as well? What's your role at USF?
Well, we have a staff of about 8 that help veterans with their transition, some of them for academics, some of them connecting with the business community. We have a mentorship program that connects local community business leaders or anybody in the community who does what this veteran wants to do. If I got a veteran who wants to be an electrical engineer, I find an electrical engineer in the community who's doing what they want to do, and we connect them. And that's been very successful in getting them into the
you talked about
community.
the importance of networking and how that was one of the things you realized early on when you returned from the military that was really going to set yourself apart in the workforce. When you finally got employed again when you returned from the military and you began working, what was the biggest challenge or surprise when you began to work with the general public?
Well, I think there was. I know it. When I first started, there was a kind of a misconception of that I was very rigid. That I was, very.
It's clearly not the case. He's a very nice guy. He's not at all like that general that walks in, commands respect, and steps on everybody.
8 years removed though now, so you've had a time to acclimate to the corporate world, but what was it like though making that transition for yourself? You told me about how it was difficult to find a job, but when you began working, maybe the lack of structure may have took you, or maybe just a lack of professionalism. What was the biggest surprise that you noticed in corporate?
I think the biggest difference for me was a lack of purpose. I mean, I think when you put on your uniform every morning, it gives you that sense of identity, and you know that you've got a higher calling. You're defending the country, and then you work as a team, so you're very close knit with all the people that you work with. Then you get out and you walk into a very individualized work environment and the purpose, you kind of lose that purpose, your identity. That uniform's no longer there. You don't really click with the people. They don't understand where you've been or what you've been through. And
everybody's trying to move up the corporate ladder, and if they got to step on your toes to do so, they're going to do that. But in the military, you're trained to take care of one another, to function as a unit.
Right.
Effective teams and effective workplaces and workforce cultures do that, but a lot of places do not.
It's called falling in line, right?
Falling in line, I would assume that's right.
That's right.
As a lieutenant colonel, I'm sure he knows all about that. Talking right now to Dr. Larry Brow, who's the director of Office of Veteran Success, and you can learn more at USF, and you can learn more about this at veterans.usf.edu. We'll talk a little bit more about the program when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com where they write your prescription for success.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Crash on Dr. King just west of 275, causing delays in that area. Also southbound 275, it is jammed from just south of Bierce to around Dr. King. Southbound 301, still slow south of Mango. Also a crash on Hillsborough Avenue just west of 56th Street. Sunshine Skyway Bridge remains open in both directions. No problems to report on DeGandy, Courtney Campbell. Typical delays on the Howard Franklin into Tampa. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages. War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
Tropical storm warning and a flood watch in effect. Today, heavy rain with 4 inches or more possible, high 83. High tide in the afternoon, then tonight, off and on rain, low 75.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Currently talking to Dr. Larry Brow, Director of the Office of Veteran Success over at USF. You can learn more about this over at veterans.usf.edu. And so, Larry, talk to me about some of the ways that the community can help the servicemen and women when they return, from services to get into the workforce.
Well, that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to do at USF. USF is the leadership at USF is strong, military, friendly community. President Genshaft is just one of probably the most biggest advocates that I know for veterans, and so we really want to connect our veterans with the local community. Veterans are not networkers by trade. I mean, we get out of the military. We don't have to network while we're in the military. So we get out. We don't know anybody, and so we don't have those people in the community that can help us find jobs. And so what we're really looking for is for people in the community who, regardless of what their profession is, to help mentor veterans, to come up alongside of them, come to networking events and just meet them and talk with them, help them to learn how to network. And our mentor program, we're going to have an event in the 8th, Wednesday evening, to kind of share our vision for what we're going to do for veterans in the next 2 to 3 years, as far as our the employment of our veterans and getting them the networking opportunities, getting them career mentors. And we're looking for people to step up and
how many
come
are
up
you
alongside.
working? How many different veterans are you talking about in terms of needing some type of assistance with mentoring and networking?
Well, we have, like I said, we have 2,000 veterans at USF, and really we graduate roughly 300 a semester or per year, 300 to 400 per year we graduate, and so probably half. Roughly 200. We're looking for people to come up alongside about 200 veterans and just show them what they do in their job and really help them look at their resume. Figure out what they want to do.
What I can do for you is TBBO, Tampa Bay Business Owners. We're a business professional group, about 300 members, and networking is what we do. We're not really, we don't bill it as a networking group. We have different classes and events that we put on for the membership. But networking occurs just as a result of any interaction between business professionals. We do a monthly event called the Main Event at the Center Club. You're welcome to send me 5 veterans a month to the main event free of charge, and I'll work them into the crowd and teach them how to network. So there's my assistance that I can offer for you. Be sure to follow up. Be sure to follow up with me. Yeah, we're always looking for guests, and we're not going to try to sell them on TBBO. I'll do that as a service to the men and women out there. So we'll follow up with me on that, and we can put them in the room. There's usually anywhere between 70 and 100 people there, and they're all
great.
Yeah, all business professionals, and I'll take them around.
The room should be clapping right now. Actually, that's a good thing, man.
So we'll get them into the Tampa Bay Business Owners event. So send me 5 a month there, and we'll coordinate that each and every month through my assistant and everything, and then they can learn a little bit about the Tampa Bay business community, and hopefully some good things will come out of that. So tell me about the history of the department of the Office of Veteran Success. Has this been around for a while?
Well, we've always served veterans as far as USF, as long as they've existed. We've been serving veterans. Our office was actually created in 2010 for the sole purpose of providing additional services for veterans rather than just helping them with their GI Bill benefits. We were created to help them stay in school, graduate, deal with all of those transition issues, and then find meaningful employment. So we're 6.5 years now in the making, and we're just starting to hit our stride.
Now, you said the biggest challenge that a lot of military professionals face when they come from the service is that lack of the network. After networking deficiencies, what's the next biggest challenges you have with professionals? Is it just writing the resume? Is it the interviewing? Where else can the people out in the community help?
Well, resume writing is a key part, and that goes along with that career mentorship. Is somebody who can help them look at the resume and say, hey, for this industry, this is what your resume should look like. We've had some tremendous success stories. Here's the cool thing about the mentor program. It gives our local community an opportunity to meet these veterans, and what ends up happening is they meet them, like them, and then want to hire them. We had a young man, Greg Maurer, who we connected with Rick Mortensen from Mortensen Engineering. All he did was go out a few times to the job site, met with them. Next thing you know, they offered him a part-time job, and now he's got a full-time job. He's getting married, and he's getting ready to buy a house. And so, that's ultimately, and that's just one example of when they met him and just being around him for a little while. Go, hey, this guy's good.
Right.
We want you to work for us.
Yeah.
And that's the whole key for the mentoring program and our networking, because once you meet them, what the resumes don't tell the whole story. Now,
you had a event recently with Akash Patel, one of my show supporters there, and he's a master networker. He knows everybody in Tampa, so you had him giving a lesson to the veterans then, huh?
He gave a lesson on networking and how to network and how to meet people and how to track that and how to turn those into meaningful relationships.
Nobody does it better than him. So
that lesson consisted of, here's my card, call me for some services.
He's good at what he does. So
he is really good.
Good discussion, Dr. Larry Brow. Appreciate you being in studio on this early Monday morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
And again, you can learn more about their services over at veterans.usf.edu. Again, veterans.usf.edu. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking grilled cheese with Ben Rampt, owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese. In the meantime, learn more about the program, TampaBayRadio.com, and connect with me on all the different social media sites. I'm on just about every platform. You've been listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Is on wealth preservation, and he's known as the retirement guy. Call David Graham at 1-800-808-5009. 1-800-808-5009.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Northbound 275 slow in St. Petersburg, anywhere between 22nd Avenue North and Gandy. Sunshine Skyway Bridge remains open in both directions. Howard Franklin Bridge just a bit slow into Tampa. Crash on 56th Street near Hillsborough Avenue. In fact, a couple accidents in this area. One on Dr. King just west of 275. And southbound Veterans Expressway, it's only slow from just south of Gun Highway to around Hillsborough. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and UTERIC Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages. War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
I'm Gordon Bird, News Radio 970 WFLA Operation Stormwatch with the latest on Tropical Storm Cullen, now centered 315 miles west-southwest of Tampa with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles an hour. A tropical storm warning in effect for Gulf Coast counties, a flood watch in effect for all of the Bay Area, 4 to 8 inches of rain possible with 50-mile-an-hour winds. Wind gusts of 44 miles an hour recorded at Albert Whitted Airport in St. Pete. I'm Gordon Bird with Operation Stormwatch News Radio 970 WFLA.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Time to bring in my next guest for the program. I have Ben Rampt, owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese. And you can learn more about him and his food truck business during the discussion over at csgrilledcheese.com. Ben, welcome to the program today.
How you doing, Jamie? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, you were listening to us on the way in, and you heard about us having our breakdowns at the stoplights and everything, and you said you've had the food truck breakdown at the stoplight, and you've had to push that thing before. What happened here?
Yeah, we came to a stop. Of course, we were the first truck or the first vehicle, right at the front line there, so everybody behind us was stuck, and the truck just shut off. My chef's probably listening right now, Mark. he'll remember this story. And I basically got out. He put it in neutral, and we waited for the green light. It was kind of like you ever see Cool Runnings?
Yeah.
Kind of just like as soon as it turned green, it's like, you know.
So
bobsled time.
So were you able to push the truck, or did you have to have somebody tow that thing?
You know, actually, a testament to the people of Tampa. I think 2 other people got out of their cars and pushed with me, and believe it or not, we got that.
But you didn't drive through any water, though, to make it break down, right?
Right. No, we did not.
That's what we've been harping on today. Is people don't drive through the puddles and then break down. Me and Josh have run out of gas a few times at some intersections, and fortunately got into the gas stations. But yours is just the old-fashioned breakdown. Then
good
no
old
fault
breakdown.
of your own, so we can't fault you for that.
I've done it plenty of times. I did it on like I-75 about a month ago, and then I did it on the Suncoast too.
I did it last year with my motorcycle on interstate.
You had to push it like a mile too.
Yeah, I was on Memorial or 4th of July weekend or something, and I could see the gas station about a mile down the road at the next exit. So I called the AAA service or whatever, and they're like, "It's going to be a few hours. It's a busy weekend." So I sat there for like 20 minutes looking at the gas station down the road, and I was like, "I can push this thing."
Oh man!
I pushed my motorcycle, big heavy Harley, down the road. Yeah,
it took you 20 minutes to work the nerve up.
Yeah, well, because I'm not exactly in shape, and it was 95 degrees out, and it wore me out to get that thing pushed down the interstate. About a mile and a half push down the interstate. It was a big, heavy Harley. It wasn't little light little.
What's really funny is that I just had a Honda Civic, which you could push those things easy. I push them out of the road all the time. Well, now I have a Honda Passport, which is like 3 times the size. You go to push it, and there's no power steering. You're not moving very far.
Oh, that's brutal.
So you specialize in grilled cheese.
We do.
Why grilled cheese?
I mean, grilled cheese is something that kind of resonates with everybody. You know, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that grew up not at least having one grilled cheese.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's the most basic sandwich you can put together. You know,
right? Absolutely. So we went with something that that people, when they're walking by, if we're at a food truck rally or something, they're seeing several trucks, grilled cheese. It just kind of hits home for them. So we started with that, and then we expanded upon it. We have 7 different recipes on the truck that we do. So we just basically we got stuff with chicken, bacon, ham, chorizo.
Mixed in with the cheese, or how?
We've got some loaded up grilled cheese, man.
I don't think I've ever had a grilled cheese that wasn't just a grilled cheese.
Right now, critics will say that as soon as something besides cheese joins in, then it becomes a melt. So
So what is
Call it what you will.
So what is your background? Did you ever operate a traditional storefront restaurant? This is a food truck business, right? So you move this around, but what's your background in food services?
So actually, my background is in finance. Graduated from Florida State with finance. My main guy, my chef Mark, he is the culinary expert. So we kind of just tag team the business. We're a pretty good pair because I handle the financial side of things, and I like to mingle with the people in the window, and he's the one really making the magic.
Does somebody really need to be a chef to put together a grilled cheese sandwich, though? I mean, does this require culinary skills here? You just
it's above my talents, that's for sure. I still got to go to my mom's house to get one.
Slap some cheese and maybe throw some ham or bacon on it,
right?
And dress it up a little bit, but
more or less.
But your chef, I mean, he's trained in the culinary arts. On top of this,
he's been doing it for about a decade. So he was certainly not just grilled cheese for a decade, but he was certainly.
It's like all that schooling, and I'm making grilled cheese on a food truck.
So, I mean, is he your business partner? Is he he's on the staff? How does it work?
Right. So I couldn't have done it without him. He's on the staff, but basically we're partners. I was his best man. We go way back, so we're great buddies, and it's actually really awesome to be doing something like this and creating something with them. That's just.
Now I see more and more food trucks around the Tampa Bay region, and I know I was connected to you by Allie Walter, who has the Food Truck Profit Formula. So for anybody out there operating a food truck, she's definitely help you out in that area. But what is it about Tampa? Is it a food truck friendly place? Is it just a community of people that are just coming together more and more? Why is it growing?
It is. It's the environment. I know Mayor Buckhorn. He definitely makes strides to just create a conducive environment for food trucks. They do the Food Truck Fiesta. I think it's the first Wednesday in downtown. And there's just
the food truck operators actually get along for more than 5 minutes.
Right. It's funny. We are a tight-knit community, and for the most part, everybody's kind of helping everybody. People kind of think there's like turf wars or something that might be going on, but everyone's there to just kind of make people happy, make food.
I always
there's
imagine
enough.
the gang fight from like Anchorman, like in the back alley. There's like food trucks everywhere.
Now, do you operate in multiple locations? Do you have more than one truck? How does your situation, or how does your service work?
Right, so we've got just the one truck. We got started in August, so we're coming up on our first year, and we go anywhere from. We're based in North Tampa. We go anywhere, around Hillsborough County. We go to Pinellas, even Hernando County, where we're originally from, Brooksville, and.
So how do you determine where you can go, or do you just get up in the morning and say, we're going to try this location? Is there some permits involved? You got to talk to the business owner whose lot that you're in. How does all that stuff come together?
Right. So, gone are the days of just guys getting up and winging it and just seeing which curbside they can park. Some cities, I think they can get away with doing that, but here it's a little bit more organized. There's red tape that you have to worry about. You really just can't pull up.
You got to appeal to the Pirate King.
Right. So we pretty much have our schedule about a month or two in advance. We know where we're going, every day. And we just, through direct calls, people having us out or giving us a call, letting us come out to, their place of business or a private event. We've started to break into the wedding market. We're doing, we haven't done like a main course yet. I'm not sure how many weddings really want grilled cheese.
You have a wedding with the reception is a food truck out front, and
right.
the formal reception is at the food truck out front. Is that goes on?
We fit more into the late night snack. People want to accommodate that late night grumble before their stomach grumble before they hit the road.
You get your cheese at the drive-in, then, right?
That's it.
So what about
places
of employment, employers? Do you roll up on those places? I know, like here at iHeart, middle of the day, there's a food truck out there in the parking lot. Do you have to get approved to show up in the employer parking lot? So how does that relationship work?
Right. So oftentimes, certain places are kind of an account of a company or another food truck, and as to not step on any toes, you get the approval, and you don't want to pull up when there's another truck. So you pretty much have it organized to, okay, I'll be there on that day. Basically any large gathering of people, a big corporate building or something like that. A lot of times people don't want to lose their parking spot. They would love to just come downstairs and get a meal and then go back to work. So it's a win-win for everybody, really.
So what's the most difficult thing about operating a food truck then? Is it just buying the food truck itself? I imagine those things are pretty costly. After you got that, then it's just basic business management, or am I wrong?
Dodging Bo Zimmer must be tough too.
Who's that?
He's the guy that he goes to all the restaurants and he reports on whether they're clean or not.
Oh, but what's his name?
Bo Zimmer. He's a Channel 10 guy.
Oh, okay.
Dirty
Gotcha.
Dining, is that the?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do they have that service for food trucks? Do they do that for the food trucks?
They do. I mean, the whole Roach Coach aura around it is.
I was told not to call it that anymore.
That's exactly that's what I was going to touch on. Is that it's really that's gone, and for the reason of the health department, they make sure we are up to any standard of any restaurant. So which is great, and it's good for the industry. It puts more trust in the people to come out and have some delicious food. I mean, a lot of these guys are just gourmet chefs, and they're making great stuff, and they're bringing it to you. So it's really awesome to.
So is the upkeep on the truck the biggest difficult, most challenging thing of the business then?
Yeah, I mean, getting started, we worked, for the hours that we are operating and the window is open serving food, you can easily double that as far as, the labor that goes into that day. So that was probably the biggest hurdle. I mean, Mark and I were just cleaning until 2 a.m. sometimes just because we had done a dinner that night. So we got our routine down. We've gotten better at it, but I think that was one of our biggest hurdles. And then, of course, you have to go through the permitting and make sure you're in line with the city and the county. And
where's your best business coming from now? Is it just is there a certain few locations where you can drive a lot of business from? Is it from your catering services? Where are you driving most of your business from right now?
So, well, I have to say, yesterday was the St. Pete Grilled Cheese Festival. That was
There's a grilled cheese festival.
They did.
Why wasn't I told about this?
We'll let you know next time. They've done a Tampa one, which was excellent, and then they did a St. Pete one yesterday. That was incredible. We were so grateful. People were in line for an hour to get some grilled cheese from us. So, the rallies, the big gatherings where people are coming and they're ready to just crush some food. Those are our big hitters.
Now, how many different grilled cheese sandwiches do you make? Is there like 6 or 7 of these things, or what?
Right. So we have 7, and the reason being, space is a luxury you don't have on a food truck. So what you want to do, I personally feel that you want to do what you do it right. So we do 7, not to get too spread out, but we make sure that we do them to perfection. So
yeah, so these aren't just your classic, American cheese and white bread. I mean, do you have a whole different range of breads and cheeses on top of this? What type of cheeses and breads are you serving over there?
So there's not white bread on the truck, believe it or not. We use our main bread is it's a thick cut bread, and it's an enriched loaf similar to like a potato bread. It's called challah bread. It's a Jewish bread. It's got egg and I believe they use like a pre-fermented rum in there. It gives it a little bit of a sweet finish. Mm-hmm. So it pairs well with all the the saltiness of the butter and the bacon and the ham and what have you. So
what's your most popular sandwich over there?
It's funny. It depends on where we go. Sometimes we'll go and we'll serve nothing but Mac Daddies, which is that's our grilled cheese with a white cheddar mac and cheese homemade recipe stuffed inside of the grilled cheese, believe it or not. That's a big popular one if we're in a vegetarian heavy crowd. The Buffalo Soldiers, our buffalo chicken grilled cheese, that one, they all seem to race neck and neck. I think year to date, our standard, which has the ham, bacon, and tomato, I think that one has sold the most.
So where are you at today with the food truck?
We are nowhere because there is a tropical storm coming.
That is true. That is true. But if there was no storm today, where would you be at today?
Right. So, honestly, at any time.
Did you drive that truck in here today in the parking lot? Is it sitting out there right now?
It is not. It is not. It's tucked away.
Can you do
I was going to try and work a free couple of sandwiches.
I'll go out there and fire it up for you.
I was going to say, can you fire me up one? But where are you going to be at this week, I should say?
So at any point in time, you can go on our Facebook, and every Sunday we post our schedule where we'll be for the upcoming week, so it's easy to find us. We're closed for today and tomorrow, and then we're back at it. Gosh, it's kind of a blur, but I know we're going to be at the Lakeland Food Truck Rally on Thursday. That's a big one. That's at it.
Are there like a lot of these food truck rallies? I mean, is this something that's going on like weekly instead of monthly or something?
We wish they were. They are kind of I wouldn't say few and far between, but I moved from West Palm before I came back here to start the business, and down there's a food truck rally almost every day, it seems like. So it's heading in that direction. I think there's probably a good 4 or 5 real noteworthy rallies a month that everyone's trying to get into. Obviously, they can't have them all. But
currently talking to Ben Ramp, owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese Food Truck. Here you can learn more about their services and their truck over at csgrilledcheese.com or give them a call, 813-302-1600, 813-302-1600. Again, csgrilledcheese.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Crash on eastbound 118th Avenue North at 43rd Street and a couple lanes blocked here, so expect delays from US 19. Expect those delays again on southbound Roosevelt approaching Almerton due to that new traffic light. Crash in Tampa on 56th Street south of Hillsborough Avenue. One just to the west of 56th Street on Hillsborough Avenue at 47th. And the Bay Area bridges so far, all bridges open, no major delays to report. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson, Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Foundation for a Better Life.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor. Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Tropical storm warning and a flood watch in effect. Today, heavy rain with 4 inches or more possible, high 83. High tide in the afternoon, then tonight, off and on rain, low 75.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Weekdays 7 to 9 here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, keep in mind we have a business partnership now with the Tampa Bay business owners, so inviting all the Tampa Bay business owners who would like to learn more about the organization. We have an intro event tomorrow afternoon from 2:30 to 4:30 here at the iHeart Radio station, located at 4002 West Gandy Boulevard here in Tampa. It's a no-commitment event. Just show up and learn more about the services and how TBBO can help grow your business and the different benefits that we have to offer. Going to be a good bit of a turnout. We already got about 25 people registered for that, so if you'd like to learn more, please register over at tbbo.org/events, and we'll give you a tour of the radio station as well. Last time we did that here, that was the most popular part of the entire thing. So I think that attracts a lot of people out here, just coming in and seeing the radio station. It's a neat thing to see the first time, seeing how all this audio equipment is put together in the different studios, and be like, hey, I've been listening to that station. There it is. It's so cool. It's the simple things that sometimes impress so many.
We hear it every day, man. Every day a new guest comes in, they're like, hey, how many stations are here? And we have it almost down to a routine.
Yeah, they get there. They get impressed seeing the actual location of where the sounds originate here.
We get asked about that Kane guy a lot too.
He's not out of here though, right?
No,
yeah,
but we get asked that question. I do almost every day.
He's the 93.3 morning person. I haven't listened to morning radio obviously in a couple years since I'm doing it, so I really don't know what's going on out there at morning radio. You should be listening to that business show.
The headphones Jamie's wearing's really not himself in them. He's actually listening to the Kane show.
Who ever thought? I used to love, I still do. I love listening to radio, and I always thought it would be so cool to have a radio show. And here I am, 2.5 years later doing it. doing
you don't
it.
sit at home later in the evening and listen to a podcast or other shows? I mean, I know you do with the TBBO stuff with Chris Krimitsos and all that, but you don't have any favorites right now?
No, I'm not really a big podcast listener. I'd listen to the radio, terrestrial radio, but I not like I used to. Back when I worked in industry and I had a job to where I was in a facility 24, 12-hour shifts, days and nights, and I used to listen to 970, nonstop. I got to know all the personalities on there, especially Coast to Coast AM, which became one of my favorite programs there with Art Bell, and now George Norrie has taken it over.
You know what? You're right. Since I quit digging ditches, I've listened to a lot less radio.
Yeah, and Phil Hendry and Drudge Report and all those classic.
Wow, you listen to intelligent radio. I was listening to like Bubba and stuff.
I listen to Bubba from time to time. He's kind of run his course here in the Tampa Bay market, but I really enjoyed.
620 was a big one that I listened to a lot.
Yeah, Bubba's. I never really liked Bubba. I always liked Manson / Ned. And that character, the bits that he did was off the chart. It's so funny. He made his show for him. There's no doubt about that.
I think they're all funny.
Bubba was the business mind behind it, but the entertainment behind it was Manson. And Manson / Ned, the same person, by the way. That took some people, they have a hard time believing that, but they really are the same person. So
it's still hard to believe, to be honest. That's how good that guy is.
He is. Currently talking to Ben Rampt, owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese. Learn more about this, csgrilledcheese.com. So Ben, let's talk about some of the catering packages and services that you have over at Mr. C's Grilled Cheese.
Right. So we recently have been getting more and more calls for to come out and do some private events, some caterings, weddings, and things like that. And we specialize in creating custom packages for our guests to really meet their exact needs and make it a good time. We've started to even dress up the crew. A themed event or something like that.
You putting your employees in chicken suits?
We do. If it calls for it, I have no shame. I will put them in chicken suits.
Get you noticed.
If it adds to the time for the client, then why not?
I see there's bodysuit people running around advertising that one gym, so it gets noticed.
Right. My buddy owns a tattoo shop. He just bought one for his shop manager.
You got to. We're not going to act like we're not a grilled cheese truck, so we're all about fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously, so. So we basically we'll do custom packages and for weddings, corporate parties, even some birthday parties. So it's just been some exciting
when did you
stuff.
launch the truck again?
We started in August of last year, so we're coming up on our first year here.
And what made you decide to get out of what you're doing before and launch a food truck centered around the grilled cheese? Why did you do it?
I wanted to get back to Tampa. I saw that Tampa was the food truck industry was really it has been going for a good 4 or 5 years. It's just continuously growing. I love grilled cheese. I don't think I'm alone in that. And I thought there was room in the market for a grilled cheese specific, niche food truck. So we went with it. We picked up overnight and just, got it on the fast track to getting rolling.
So you started it in August. Where are we going to see it in 5 years?
In 5 years, hopefully, I think you'll see perhaps more than one truck in this geographical area. We have had some interest in Atlanta and Orlando, a couple other markets. So perhaps that. But definitely, the brick and mortar route could certainly be there in 5 years.
Right. Well, wish you the best of luck. You got a great community of supporters around here with the Tampa Bay business community. Ben Rampt, thank you so much for being in studio.
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
Owner and manager of Mr. C's Grilled Cheese. Learn more about their services at csgrilledcheese.com. Also, thank you to Dr. Larry Brow, Lieutenant Colonel, retired with the United States Army and Director of the Office of Veteran Success with the USF. Learn more about their services at veterans.usf.edu. He was on in the 8 o'clock spot. And also thank you to my 7 a.m. guests, Bill Rice, General Manager of the Tampa Club. Learn more at thetampaclub.com. And also Philip Knight, Business Insurance Agent with BB&T Insurance Services. Learn more, insurance.bbt.com. Tune in tomorrow for TBBO Tuesdays on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during